Ever scroll through TikTok and thought, whoa, how they make that?
Yeah.
Well, today we're going deep on AI and content creation, specifically a platform called Runway.
Definitely a hot topic these days.
Yeah, and we'll even cover those viral dances like Da Dip.
Oh, yeah, Da Dip. Everyone's seen that one.
For our listeners, Runway is basically an AI platform. It gives creators tools for all kinds of things. Text to video, fancy editing, you name it.
It's pretty much making pro-level video production accessible to, like, everyone.
Huge implications there,
Okay.
especially with how fast trends, blow up and fade away online.
Definitely. The speed at which things go viral these days is insane.
So let's break it down. Runway is like this digital toolbox, right? All these AI-powered tools for making videos.
Yeah.
What are some of the standout features?
Well, one that's just mind-blowing is text to video. You literally type in what you want, like a concept or a scene.
Wait, hold on. I've heard of AI making images, but video.
Video. Runway uses what's called a GAN, a generative adversarial network.
Okay, so techie stuff, but in simple terms.
The GAN takes your text, analyzes it, and actually creates a video based on that.
So I could write a cat flying through space and boom, video.
Basically. But it goes beyond that, too. Runway also has tools for editing existing footage, removing backgrounds, even collaborating with others.
Okay, so collab features, that's interesting. Is it like a shared workspace online? So multiple people can work on the same video at once?
Exactly. It streamlines everything. No more emailing files back and forth or like trying to sync up edits separately.
That's got to be huge for creators, right?
Huge, especially for teams or anyone used to juggling a bunch of different programs.
So it sounds like Runway is kind of bridging this gap
Yeah.
between, having an artistic vision and the technical skills you used to need for video production.
Right. It's making things much more accessible.
But then the big question is, what happens to human creativity? Is this AI taking over, or is it more like enhancing what humans can do?
That's the debate everyone's having, really.
It's a big one.
With platforms like Runway, what we're seeing is it's giving creators more power, not taking it away.
Okay, I like that. More power.
The AI handles the technical stuff, the complicated bits, but it's still the artist, the human, who's driving the ideas in the story.
That makes sense. So it's not about replacing human creativity. It's about giving people better tools. Do you have examples of how creators are using Runway in the real world? Like, what are they actually making with it?
We're seeing independent filmmakers, for instance, use it to make effects that were previously way too expensive.
So stuff that only big studios could afford before.
Exactly. Like, imagine a scene in a fantasy world, right? Before, you'd need elaborate sets or CGI that could look kind of fake.
Yeah.
Now they can use Runway's AI to generate super realistic environments, transitions, even creatures.
Oh, that's wild.
And it's not just for movies either. Think about those TikTok dance trends like Da Dip.
Oh, yeah, good point. Everyone's seen that one.
Dad Dip is a perfect example of how a simple dance can go viral because of clever editing, the visual storytelling.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
It's not just the dance moves.
Right. It's the transitions, the effects, that whole aesthetic that grabs people and makes them want to share it.
Okay, so where does Runway fit into the dad dip phenomena?
Runway gives those creators the tools to turn basic dance moves into something much more captivating visually. They can play with styles, add effects that sync to the music.
So, like, if we were going to make our own dad dip video using Runway,
Right.
where do we even begin?
First step, brainstorm. What's your overall style? What vibe are you going for?
Got it. Brainstorming.
And Runway can even help with that. They have AI tools that'll generate ideas based on your prompts, even suggest style templates for a cohesive look.
So it's like having a built-in creative director. Someone to guide us.
Kinda, yeah. Then you get your footage, film the actual dance.
Right. Footage. Check.
Runway has motion editing tools to clean things up, make the moves look smooth and polished, and then you can add those dynamic effects.
The ones that sync up to the music, right?
Yeah, like you see the lights flashing or the background changing to the beat.
That's what makes those videos pop, especially on TikTok.
Exactly. And these features, they aren't just gimmicks. They give creators that professional edge, even if they're just starting out.
So we're talking democratization of content creation. Anyone with a phone and internet can potentially make something amazing.
That's the idea.
But then there's the accessibility question. Can everyone, even people with disabilities, enjoy this stuff?
That's super important. And Runway's got features for that, like automated captioning, so people who are deaf or hard of hearing can follow along.
That's awesome. Love to see that. So we focus a lot on individuals using Runway, but what about bigger industries? Like, how is this impacting filmmaking as a whole or advertising?
It's a huge shift. Runway is giving indie filmmakers, small businesses, anyone with a story to tell, access to tools that were crazy expensive before.
So we're talking leveling the playing field.
Big time.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need a Hollywood studio anymore to make something high quality.
That's huge.
Yeah.
But of course, with any tech this powerful, especially AI, we got to talk ethics.
Right.
What's Runway doing to make sure things are used responsibly?
They've got guidelines to encourage ethical use, focusing on authenticity, respecting who made what, and making sure this benefits everyone.
Okay, good to know. So we've covered the visuals, but what about the music? Imagine combining all this with custom-made soundtracks, perfectly synced to your video. That's where freebeat.ai comes in.
Exactly. Visuals and music, gotta have both, right? Freebeat.ai is like Runway's perfect partner. It's AI-powered music creation, but specifically for creators.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about freebeat.ai. What does it actually do?
It lets you make unique soundtracks for your videos, beat synchronization, different soundscapes. It even integrates smoothly with editing software.
So I can make a dad dip video and have the music hit those key moments perfectly.
Exactly. It's all about creating that cohesive experience, visuals and sound working together.
This is getting me excited to dive even deeper. We'll be right back after a quick break to explore more about how freebeat.ai is changing the game. We're back, and before the break we were talking about freebeat.ai, specifically how it helps creators, especially on TikTok, where every second counts, find the right music. How does this AI even choose music for you?
It's pretty cool. It analyzes the video, like actually looks at the content.
Oh, wow. So it's
Yeah.
not just matching tempo or something basic.
Nope. It picks up on key moments, scene changes, shifts in the mood, that kind of thing.
So it's understanding the story you're trying to tell.
Exactly. And then it recommends tracks that'll boost the emotional impact.
Wow, that's a game changer, especially for creators who, maybe aren't musicians themselves.
Totally. Takes the guesswork out of it. You get a soundtrack that actually elevates your video.
So far, we've used dot dip a lot as an example. But what other types of content can benefit from this? Like, what are people actually making with Runway and freebeat.ai?
All sorts of stuff. Short videos for social media, yeah. But also, like, professional films, documentaries. It's not just live action either.
Really? What else then?
Animation, motion graphics. You can even create whole virtual worlds with Runway.
Virtual worlds. Okay, my mind is blown. I can't even picture that. Can you give an example of how, like, a filmmaker might use Runway?
Let's say you're making a sci-fi film. You need a scene on an alien planet.
Okay, got it.
Before, you'd need to build expensive sets or use CGI that honestly sometimes looks fake.
Yeah, you can totally tell it's CGI sometimes.
Yes. But with Runway, you can generate realistic alien landscapes.
Yeah.
Even create creatures that move and interact naturally in that environment.
That's insane. It sounds like something from a huge blockbuster movie.
And it's not just the visuals either. Freebeat.ai can add a whole other layer to the storytelling.
How so?
Custom soundtracks that perfectly match the mood of each scene. Makes the whole experience more immersive for the viewer.
So we're talking real impact, not just cool tech for the sake of it.
Right. It's about enhancing the art of filmmaking itself.
Earlier, we talked about how this levels the playing field. Indie filmmakers, small businesses. What does that actually look like? Are we seeing real results?
We are. Indie films that look like they had huge budgets thanks to Runway, special effects, backgrounds, even unique editing styles that were impossible before.
Wow, that's got to be empowering for those filmmakers. They finally have the tools to compete,
Exactly. They can tell their stories without being held back by money or lack of access to fancy equipment.
And it's not just movies, right? You mentioned small businesses, too.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Marketing videos that stand out, that look super professional.
So they can showcase their products or services in a really high-quality way.
Yep. Runway's making that possible for businesses that could never afford a big production company before.
This is amazing stuff. We're talking real-world impact. People reaching their goals, telling their stories, all because of this tech. But before we get too carried away, let's talk about Dan Dip again. It's such a fascinating case study. What do you think made that specific trend blow up the way it did?
I think it's a few things. First, the dance itself is easy to pick up. Anyone can learn it.
So people watch it and think, oh, I could do that.
Exactly. That's part of what makes things viral. People want to participate, be part of something.
But it's not just the moves, right?
Right. The music matters, too. It's catchy, upbeat, that kind of gets stuck in your head.
It makes it memorable. You hear it once and you're humming it all day.
And then there's the visual style of those videos, the transitions, effects. That stuff adds a whole other level of polish.
Absolutely.
That's what makes it captivating to watch. And that's where Runway shines. It gives people those tools to go beyond just filming a dance.
So they take something fun and popular like Dad Dip and then elevate it with editing and visual flair.
Exactly. And these platforms are making it easier and easier to do that.
It feels like a real cultural shift, you know? The way we make and watch stuff is changing so fast. What do you think this means for storytelling in the future? Like, where are we headed?
It's hard to predict for sure, but AI is going to be a huge part of it, no doubt.
No doubt.
We'll see tools that are even more powerful, maybe AI that can write scripts or compose music specifically for a scene. Who knows?
It's almost overwhelming to think about, like a creative revolution is happening right in front of us.
It really is. Anyone with a story to tell, they can bring it to life in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
That's the exciting part. It feels like limitless potential.
It is. We're just at the beginning. And as these technologies grow, we're going to see a whole explosion of creativity and new ways of storytelling.
So we've talked about the amazing potential of all this, but with any powerful tool, there's always a flip side. What are some of the ethical concerns we should be thinking about?
Well, as AI gets more advanced, we got to be careful about misuse, like deep fakes, spreading false information, that kind of thing.
So it's not just about, yay, cool tech. We need to be responsible too.
Absolutely. We need to talk openly about the ethical side of things. Work together to create guidelines so the stuff is used for good.
It's a conversation we need to keep having, for sure. But for now, I think it's okay to be excited about what we're seeing. The creativity, the innovation, it's incredible.
You're right. There's so much to celebrate. It's a really exciting time to be in this field.
I agree, and I can't wait to see what comes next. We'll be right back after a quick break to wrap up our deep dive into the future of content creation. You know, it's striking me, it's not just about making cool videos. It's about who gets to tell their stories and how tech is changing that whole thing.
Absolutely. For the longest time, high-quality video, music, it was all so expensive, out of reach for most people.
Like this exclusive club, you needed the right connections, the right gear.
Yeah, exactly. But Runway, freebeat.ai, they're breaking down those barriers.
Giving everyone a shot.
It's like everyone gets a microphone now. The ability to create, to share, it's not just for a select few anymore.
It's for anyone with a phone, an idea. That's powerful.
Super powerful. And you mentioned indie filmmakers rivaling big studios. Are we seeing real examples of that?
Oh yeah, tons.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, think about special effects, the kind that used to cost a fortune.
Right, right.
Now, indie filmmakers are using Runway to create incredibly realistic creatures, environments, you name it.
So they're not just telling stories, they're doing it with visuals that were unimaginable on a small budget before.
Exactly. And it goes beyond film. Educators using it for lessons, small businesses making killer marketing stuff.
Wow.
It's truly democratizing creativity across all these different areas.
It really is. It's like everyone has the potential to bring their vision to life now.
That's what's so exciting about it. But we got to talk about the downsides too, right? The ethical stuff. Any concerns there?
Definitely. As AI gets more powerful, misuse is a real worry. Deep fakes, fake news, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no one wants to see that.
It's on all of us to use these tools responsibly. Think about the consequences.
It's not enough to just say, cool tech, let's use it.
Nope. We got to be thoughtful, have those tough conversations about ethics, make sure these advancements are actually benefiting people.
It's a conversation we need to keep having as this stuff evolves.
Absolutely. But for now, I think it's also okay to be optimistic. The creativity we're seeing, it's amazing.
It really is. So much potential. What do you think the future holds for all this? Where's AI-powered content creation headed next?
It's tough to say. But I think we can expect things to get even more intuitive, even more powerful. Imagine AI that can write whole scripts, compose original scores for your videos.
That's wild.
It's mind-blowing, right? We're on the edge of something huge.
A total creative revolution. Anyone can bring their story to life in ways we haven't even dreamed up yet.
That's the beauty of it. We're just scratching the surface. As this tech grows, we're going to see an explosion of new ideas, new forms of expression.
This has been an amazing journey, exploring Runway, freebeat.ai. They're truly changing the game. It's exciting, a little scary, but definitely full of potential.
For anyone listening, if you're feeling inspired, jump in. These tools are out there. Go create something amazing. Tell your story. Share your vision. The world wants to see it.
That's it for our deep dive into the future of content creation. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Keep learning, keep creating, and keep diving deep into these fascinating topics.